Hey folks, Jason Palliser here, and in this video we're going to talk about properties, and properties specifically that look like they need repair. Sometimes they don't. They look, from the naked eye, they look like they're perfect properties, but vacant properties specifically. So vacant properties. So how do you know if a property is vacant? What are some things that you can do to identify? Because guess what? Vacant properties, out of the 30 different ways that we when we build off-market blueprints, vacant properties is probably a top 5 or 6 out of 30 techniques that produces the most deals. And it's probably a top 5 or 6. It's probably top 7 or 8 on biggest spreads. So not only is it a technique that's in the top tier as far as getting deals done, but then also too, it's some of our most profitable deals that we do. So we like to blend those things together and also infuse that into your brain. So talking about vacant properties. And by the way, if you like what we're doing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you're notified every time we do drop new content for you, to be the best investor that you can be in your city and around the nation. And don't forget to comment or ask us questions, because we're here to help you, and share it with other people. Okay. Now, vacant properties. How do we spot a vacant property? So there's a few things that can be some telltale signs that it could be vacant. High probability. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it will be. One of the big factors is a mailbox that's overflowing. Okay. So how do you spot if a property is vacant? And if you're in St. Louis, I got a few property that I own right now that are obviously vacant because I live in Florida. And so yes, from time to time the mail piles up. So that is a telltale sign. That's a telltale sign that a house is vacant. And again, we teach you how to attack those vacancies in the 2-day blueprint, but that's for another time. But we need to identify those properties. You know why? Any one of those properties that you identify that's vacant, that you attack well, you can make, okay, listen to me. You can make 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand. I just did one a few weeks ago that we just did a video case study on that made 6 figures, right? That house was vacant. So if the mailbox is overflowing, that's a world-class victory. You're marching towards identifying that this one is absolutely a vacant property. Okay. Now, another thing that's a telltale sign is that if the house is in disrepair. I think everybody knows that, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on that. But if the house is in disrepair, okay. Another sign, maybe the house looks good, but if the grass is tall, okay. If the grass is tall, it's more than likely vacant, because most people have pride in ownership. So that's a sign that the house could be vacant. Okay. And or vacant and they're an absentee owner. Like literally, if I'm flogging myself right now, so you guys can all laugh at me, you can put in comments, smiles, whatever you want to do, or just simply laugh at me, or a little mad emoji, because shame on you, Jason. I made phone calls. Okay. So, before the team here sat me down to teach you here, because this isn't just a YouTube channel, I'm teaching you. I was making phone calls off camera to get somebody to cut the grass at one of my Airbnbs that myself and my wife own. And so I had to make the call for 2 reasons. One, obviously I don't want the Airbnb guests to go, oh, wow, okay, what are we walking ourselves into because the grass is tall. But then secondly, I don't want my wife to beat me with a stick, right? So if the grass is tall, it's a telltale sign that could be a vacant house, and also an absentee owner, which is a very, very, very good lead for you. Now, another thing that I previously mentioned in a different video that you could do to find out whether houses are vacant or not. So whether you're using the naked eye or not, as we're talking about right now, to identify, there's other ways you can do it that don't even involve you leaving your house. So what you need to do is you need to go simply look online, and there's services for your area and zip codes that will sell you a list of houses that have been known to be vacant within a short amount of time, to collapse that time frame of you going to find and identify those on your own. It doesn't absolve you from having to go do that, because you should do that, because vacant homes are a top 5 lead source, or 6 lead source out of 30. Okay. Some of the best deals that we get from a profitability standpoint. So that's a good use of your time, or people that you put on your team to go find those houses that are vacant. But you can also get lists. Okay. So you listening to me? You can also get lists and they will tell you for your area, the zip codes that you choose, which ones are vacant. Okay. And I think one of them, you can Google it, you can look it up. I think one of them is vacanthoalist.com or something like that. Just type in vacant HOA list and it should pop up. Okay. So that's a pretty reliable one. And so I would definitely look into that. Here's why. These are some of the most profitable deals. These are some of the deals that close the fastest, the shortest closing window. And there's a high probability that there's some sort of motivation on the back end because why simply own houses and just leave them vacant? The answer is, which I think all of us know here, is that stuff comes up. Life gets in the way. Family members get sick. You get transferred out of town. The house hasn't sold yet. There's tons of, hey, there was a leak in the basement. Now it's moldy. You had to move out. And now all of a sudden, you didn't have proper insurance. You got to pay for it on your own. I could go on and on and on and on and on. And so these are very, very, very good leads, right? So you can also go online and just grab those lists and start attacking those lists. Now, one of the last things that you can do that may not produce you the list of vacants, which I did speak about previously, but can also get you closer to attacking the right areas that have the highest vacancy rates, which would be a smart thing. Think about this. If you're attacking your city and there's 30 zip codes, shouldn't you maybe attack the 5 or 6 or 7 zip codes that have the most vacancies in it? Kind of sounds like a good move, right? So you may or may not be aware of this. You can go to the post office because who better than, there's no one on earth or no institution on earth better than the post office to know which houses are vacant, because the mail carriers keep delivering the mail and no one ever picks up the mail, right? At a certain point, they stop delivering it depending on the situation, right? So they know which houses are vacant. What you may or may not be aware of is this. So pay attention. You can, under the veil of a non-for-profit, you're allowed to. So hear me out. You just can't walk in with a coffee in your hand and say, "Hi, my name is John Smith," or "My name is Mike," right? And just say, "Hey, I want vacancy rates for each zip code." They'll probably tell you to pound salt. Okay. If you don't know what that phrase is, you're in danger of being a millennial, and you can go look that up. Okay. It's a duck, we'll call it a duck. But you can walk in under the veil of a non-for-profit, and non-for-profits are supposed to be able to get vacancy rates. Sometimes, not always, sometimes, very rare, but sometimes they'll even give you the list of vacants, right? But what they will do, non-for-profit, go to a non-for-profit in your local city. I don't know if I have to teach you at this level or not, but go to a non-for-profit in your local city. Most churches are non-for-profits, okay? And say, "Hey, if I make a donation of $50, can somebody from your organization go in, show proof that you guys are non-for-profit? And I simply just want to get the vacancy rates. I'm trying to find out what areas of the city I need to beautify first that have the most vacancy. Could you go in and request vacancy data rates for the area?" And what you can potentially do is get a list of every zip code and what the vacancy rate is for each one of them. Think about this for a second. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you understand how powerful that is? Wouldn't it be a very, very intelligent move on your part to start looking in your city to be a solution for homeowners that have properties that are vacant, but also knowing that, oh, these 5 zip codes, I was going to focus on these zip codes over here, but these 5 zip codes have the highest vacancy rate. So it's much easier for you or an army that you release into those zip codes to identify those properties, because you already know with certainty, because data doesn't lie, data tells the truth. So you got the data from the post office. So that data tells you what areas are going to be the highest and best use of your time. These are things that people, and again, I hope you're seeing something different. We get messages all the time. Dude, the stuff that you guys are dropping is vastly different than everybody gets this surface level stuff, and then I'm left not knowing what to do next. Mike off camera here, he's like, when I get done shooting videos, like, what did I shoot 10 yesterday, my friend?
Yeah, at least
10 or 11 yesterday. And he's like, dude, I feel like I went through an education sitting here and we already worked together. He's like, geez, Louise. So if you like this stuff, share it with other people. Okay. I'm just teaching you how to be better. Think about this. Most investors walk around blissfully ignorant and they never even put any effort whatsoever. Cause once this video is done, you could from your couch, find a non-for-profit, talk to them, say, hey, could you go ask for some vacancy rates if I do a donation? You can do that. No one can stop. That's something that you can control. You can control doing that. And then they go in and ask for vacancy rates. And what if they give you every zip code in your freaking city and you know where all the biggest vacancy rates are? Shouldn't you focus your efforts? That's called streamlining. That's called spending less time to make more money. It's just a smart move, but most investors will never do that and never take the time to put these things in place. So I'm just teaching you different ways here to find vacant properties and to do it in a streamlined manner and attack the right ones with a higher degree of certainty. Why? Because they're more profitable. Why? There are top 5 or 10 out of 30 different techniques that we do inside a 2-day blueprint. Okay. If you haven't explored information on what we do, and what I've done at a hedge fund level that now we do for individual investors to take over a city, think about this. When we get our hands on somebody, we command that they do these things, that they take these steps. We get feedback all the time. They're like, okay, dude, this isn't even fair. It's dirty. Yeah. Hit Mike's off camera. You cannot be him.
Somebody just sent it to us in a video.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we just had somebody say thank you. They just did a blueprint 60 days ago and they've got, I think four contracts or something like that. And, they're like, dude, some of these techniques are freaking nasty. I didn't say we're going to be polite. I didn't say we're going to play fair, right? So if you haven't explored checking out what we do, dude, we want to add you to our team. We want to add you to our family. I said earlier in the video, being a responsible business owner, check it out. Just go to the number 2, dayblueprint.com. So 2, the number 2, dayblueprint.com. See what your peers say about what we do and what we've done for their business. See the different things that we have in place for you. There's videos on there. And then there's also a spot for you to talk to us, which means that you can simply, there's my lead generation button going off. I'm like a squirrel. What? Shiny nickel, ADD. But check it out and schedule a time to talk to us. We'll talk to you specifically about your city, what you're trying to do, where you want to go. Tell us your income benchmarks. We can reverse engineer all the effort that you need to put forward to hit any income benchmark that you want. And like I said, as always, if you value this content, then share it. We're guru busting here. Okay. Share this content. We know that they don't deliver this stuff. And, we know that they don't deliver this stuff. Why? Half of the stuff surface level, they do the same 5 worn out techniques. So, do us a favor. If you want more of this, your feedback is wanted. All you gotta do is ask for help, comment below, and then share these videos. Okay. We want to help everybody that we get our hands on, create the biggest real estate family that we can. Cause once you're a part of our team, you're a part of our team permanently. No BS mentorship fees and stuff like that. It drives me insane. Okay. So hopefully this helped you, with Vacants. Re-listen to this, take notes, go execute. And I know the byproduct on the back end is you're going to be targeting deals that are shorter closing windows, higher profitability, and certainly a top 5, 6, 7 out of 30 different techniques that we do to suffocate a city of all time based upon data over 20 something years. So stay tuned. We got more good stuff coming. Talk to you later. Bye.